Right, okay, so you're off to see the monk. Is that right?
Can we do that?
Yep,
Would
okay.
everybody agree?
Ashan, what do you think we should do? As you're more the more, I don't know, adult of the party, as we put it. But not in age, of course.
I think Ashan said
Well,
she'd like to go and see
I
Elias,
think-
didn't you?
I think we have. Yeah, I think
You're curious.
I am a
and
believer
Hopper.
in that if your path takes you somewhere, you need to follow it. And I think we have been set on a path. Whether other people agree or not, I don't know.
Yes, I found this group fascinating.
Fascinating.
Yeah, fascinating is definitely one word for it.
Yes, I have a few other choice words, but I'm a good goblin.
You know,
Under my breath, I still kind of think that remains to be seen.
I don't understand, Gordon. You are clerk.
No,
Actually,
I am a sorcerer.
no, I was not talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay.
just a merchant. I just buy and sell goods.
Do I believe that Colton buys and sells goods by any chance?
No.
No.
He couldn't even sell the fraud. Come on.
Okay. All right. Okay. So.
Look, I'll go with the rest of you, but I still reserve judgment that we leave once this becomes far too obvious to everyone else. This is too dangerous, but I'll tag along for the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a way of making money. Wanting to set yourself up again, if that is what your true nature
let's
is.
weigh that. I guess we'll weigh up whether or not it's worth investing or not.
Okay, so while you are bickering amongst yourselves, you walk into.
Yes.
You're walking into town. So okay, can everyone see the map?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So as you walk into town, you can hear there's people milling about everywhere. You can hear hammering and planks of wood being hefted. And as you near the town centre, you can see that there's lots of busyness going on. People are hanging bunting and they're arranging skeletons, fake skeletons on the ground, and they're carrying coffins along, and someone putting up a big target. Looks like it's kind of some kind of arrow range or something like that their archery range. There's people setting up markets. They've got all sorts of things that are being put on their stalls.
And stop at the nearest person. Yes, what's happening? Is this a festival or?
And
doesn't look like a festival.
First passerby that we pass.
Yep. So the passerby stops and says, "Oh, it's going to be so exciting! It's All Hallows Eve. It's All Hallows Eve, and this is the festivities that we're going to do, and it's such great fun. Honestly, you should come. Everybody dresses up. We all go, guys in round the streets, and we knock on people's doors and we get candy, and we get the occasional skeleton jumping out on us, and there's games and there's drink and there's food.
But skeletons.
Oh, they're only fake skeletons. It's fine. People put them like
All Hallows Eve. What is this All Hallows Eve? I'm sorry, but I've come from the deep forest.
All Hallows Eve is the day and the night when the veil between life and death is at its thinnest. And
this town is absolutely nuts. I mean, it's bad enough that everybody's killing each other and turning into God knows what, and then you're having a fucking party about it.
Well, hey, all of you, no need to swear, rude person. Well, you see, the thing is, we have this celebration every single year because, well, we don't know what these things are besetting this city, but we figured, you know what? It's for thousands of years, this night is supposed to have been the one where, you're at the closest point between life and death. It's the festival that everybody kind of, celebrates. It's almost kind of, we do it to ward away the evil spirits.
It's obviously not worked in the past.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those. It's one
I'm
of
sorry.
those things. No,
Sorry,
no,
Your
no.
Highness. I apologise.
no,
I apologise.
no,
I have
it's
not got
fine.
the ways of cities.
It's fine, honestly, it's not a problem because do you know what? To be honest, I'm not surprised because it's become very, what's the word? Commercialized, I suppose you would say. It's it's more about the eating and the drinking and and the party games and
So
the
it's
free
what
sweeties.
it happens every day here, though.
No, it happens every year.
Yeah, but here in this town, it seems to happen every day.
Do you mean
This festival.
Are you the festival?
This town seems to have that festival every day, whether it's on or not.
I look around at the other, or the guy, the person looks around at the rest of you, and she's kind of like, what is this? I don't understand this green thing.
So, don't like the colour of my skin, do you?
Frank.
To be honest,
That's
you
the
look
least
better than the
festival
dead.
Yeah. So anyway, strange little creature. You should definitely come to the celebrations. It's
So,
it's
you
the one
say
night
this-
of the year.
You say this is when the veil between life and death is thin, but what happens when it appears that the veil, it must be thin anyway, having heard of the dead rising already prior to this night,
Oh,
this festival?
I couldn't tell you anything about that. I really couldn't. I mean, I've never seen them. The idea terrifies me. I don't know what's going on. It's maybe some strange kind of magic. I don't know. Maybe Rogan has finally, deserted us because we have not been, faithful enough to him.
So this festival, is it supposed to put the risen dead back down, or what? Or scare
Like I
them off,
said,
or-
it's a tradition, thousands of years old tradition. It was something that, I can't remember what Ilya taught me in school, but I can't remember. It was, I think
You were
she
not-
said, it was. I take what I remember. I remember a bit of my history lesson, right? So, thousands of years ago, right, or maybe just a couple of thousand, or maybe a couple of hundred.
You're not the best kid in
Anyway.
school, are you?
So, anyway, there was the originals, right? The originals. You know about the originals, don't you?
No.
No, you don't know about the originals. What school did you go to, my word? The originals were the first people to set foot on this lovely continent of ours. Anyway, and we
So,
think
goblins. Sorry.
that
carry
funny
on.
little thing. What? I don't understand that creature. I'm not listening to that creature anymore. So yeah, the originals, they set foot on this continent thousands of years ago, and we reckon that they brought the festival with them. We don't really know. I mean, it's one of them things. It gets passed down from generation to generation. Each generation makes it, more commercialized, bigger, more fairy lights, more lanterns, less kind of worship of Rogan. People don't go to temple anymore on All Hallows Eve.
Do you think this is... Oh, you don't know enough about these dead rising.
Wait, maybe they should go back to the temple? Pray a little bit
Well,
more?
I've been trying to get the congregation to go back, but nobody listens to me. I hand out flyers, I knock on people's doors. I've got a little magazine thing, a little that I write, and I go and knock on people's doors and I give it to them.
Do you have one?
Do I have one? I do, indeed, I do. And she's got a wee satchel, and she takes out a satchel, and she passes it to you, and she says, "Here you go." She says it's called the Lighthouse Express, and it's basically it's just news, things like that, and writings from the scripture and essays. I write most of it myself. There's not many people who are particularly interested. But yeah,
If I may, my deity has found very good success with kidnapping and forced torture. that tends to make people stay with the church.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
she's
just
gonna...
saying it's a possibility.
Okay.
Nice option.
Please
Pretty nice option.
ignore my colleague there. He's not been well recently.
Wait, the gnome's back?
Yes.
He's not sitting in my backpack, is he?
No,
He's out.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, again, this woman, she's a human woman, and she looks down at the halfling, and she's like, honestly, these wild gang folk, they just take everything for granted. You know, she says to Wesley, you should stop your ways. You should repent, and you should come back to Rogan.
Miss.
Yeah.
Does your god give you magical powers? Because mine does.
Westland. West, just... He's not part of the wild gang, I hope. Under my breath.
Oh, okay.
No, as far as I'm aware, I'm not.
Oh, well, you know, you're a halfling, so
Yeah, no, look, that's says the person that didn't like the goblin. Don't make assumptions on people just because he's a halfling.
well, my goodness
I think
me.
maybe that's
I'm
Anyway,
very sorry.
thank you.
perhaps we should be moving on.
Yeah,
Thank you so much
thank
for your
you
time.
very much for your information. Do
Greatly
you
appreciated.
coin for your church? Your temple?
Yes, I'll take
Donations.
some.
I-
Yes.
I'll talk
I
to
have
them.
one more
I'll talk to
question.
them.
Can I please ask? Before everybody was decently going to church, did you have all these dead walking around?
Well, I think it's because not enough people come to temple. I honestly
Oh,
do.
there you go. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I think that they are that some devil incarnate is raising them from the dead, because we don't worship hard enough. That's what it is, I think. You know.
Oh, nice. Oh, all right. Thank you.
All right. Well, anyway, listen. You take this magazine, and you have a good read through of it, and I'll be here tomorrow. So you know, if you want to chat, if you want to sign up, then you know that's good. So I'll see you later. Bye bye. And she
Bye
walks
bye.
away.
Wow.
God, she can talk, can't she?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
that's not the other thing.
I'm just saying, one crossbow bolt to her back and we're solved.
And as she's walking away, she kind of turns around and looks at you, and then carries on walking.
We just wave.
This is a very extraordinary town.
Well, we need to.
We've got a halfling gang killing people, undead people that can turn you to stone, and we're in the middle of a festival to celebrate / not celebrate / let people
Dead.
wander around and get killed kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Sounds like
And
a
then-
boss.
Admittedly, the dead didn't kill you. They just stoned you.
Yeah, but they love to make people dead and then let them dance in front of the door. I think let's go.
Let's
Let's go.
Aye. So as you're
Moving on.
talking, you're heading towards.
wherever the monastery.
As you're
Up is-
talking, you're heading towards the monastery. It is marked on your map, so you know where you're going. Okay, so as you come up to a large stone archway,
Big
it's
map.
leading
There we go.
into it's leading into a graveyard. And you
Oh,
walk
good.
through. You walk through the. Well, this is the Temple of Rogan. So you walk through the door, walk under the archway. I mean, and you see lots of gravestones around.
Open graves.
They've got letters etched into them of you know, some of them are so faded and worn and old that you can't quite tell. Others have sort of pictures on them almost, and you know, things like skull and crossbones and ships and things like that, crudely carved boats and things like that on them. There's poppies everywhere. You also see that there are a couple of open graves, and there is
Of
also
course.
there's also a monk wandering around the graveyard, and he's got a basket of poppy seeds, and he's throwing them out.
Throwing the poppies, throwing the poppies out of the bag. You mean?
Yeah,
The seeds.
the poppy seeds.
Oh,
He's throwing the
seeds.
poppy seeds around, and there's hundreds of poppies all growing everywhere, and he's throwing more poppies out, and he's muttering under his breath, and you can just hear him because he's walking past you, and he says, "Now I lay you down to sleep. Pray, Rogan, your soul to keep. If you rise up from the grave, pray, Rogan, your soul to save." And he's saying that over and over again.
I reckon he's been eating the poppy seeds.
Before we kind of progress any further, gentlemen, just a small word. We're in a considerable amount of danger. There's a really good chance we're going to need this priest's help. Just maybe, we'll enjoy your antics. It's great fun, but maybe just tone it down just a bit so we get what we need from them at this moment.
Yes, master. Yes,
Small
master.
favour.
You literally took me to another priest, and I'm supposed to not mention my god. We're talking shop.
Okay, so he's kind of shuffling around. You can see that he's got a shaved top of his head. He's got a plait running down the back. He's wearing a simple hempen cloak. He's barefoot, walking among the poppies, and you can see that he's obviously an acolyte of Rogan.
Are we going to address that the dark god they all pray to is a hair product?
That's Rogaine, but anyway.
Go up to him and say to him, "May I help you with that?"
Isn't Rogan Josh is a curry, isn't it?
He's a singer, isn't he?
Okay, so he looks up at you, and he says, "Lady elf, lady half elf. It's good to meet you. My name is Elias."
Ah, Elias, I think you were maybe the one that someone suggested we come to see.
Right, and okay. And he's very nervous, and he's kind of shuffling back to back on his, foot to foot, and
Are you okay?
yeah.
Dear monk, do you want me to leave so that you can talk to her?
And he looks at you. He looks at the tiefling, and he's like, hi,
Hi.
hi.
Don't worry about her. She's quite nice, really.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can stand around the corner and I'll be gone. And wait.
Yeah, Leandra, I think if you could just keep a watch out for us.
I will.
I'll go with her just so I don't say anything bad.
Oh, that would be nice. Yes, that would be fun.
Okay.
But lightning.
Elias is kind of he's started to shuffle around, and he's doing his poppies again, and he's about to start his little chant again.
Would you like help with that?
Are you anointed in the faith?
I have.
It's good we are not standing there anymore.
Yes,
Yep.
I will be honest. I have my own faith. But planting seeds, no matter what faith, and I can't actually remember what mine is it's still planting seeds for faith. If it helps you get this task done, I will be gladly help.
Well, it's part of my daily ritual.
Must take you a long time with a stutter like that.
Crank.
Sorry, I'm just leaving. There we go.
Elias looks down at you, and he kind of his bottom lip starts to quiver, and he's shuffling back to back on his feet a bit more, and he's kind of now he starts really chucking out those poppy seeds.
I wave to Crank. Come stand with us on the side on the corner so that he can see you. Please.
Good priest.
Come.
We've been sent to talk to you. We're strangers in this town and can't make sense as to what's going on. Could you give us at least some idea as to what happens here? We really do feel a little bit lost, if we're honest.
Lost, but drawn together for some reason, whether it is your deity or my deity or their, and I nod back to my companion's deity.
Okay. Well, I am only I am only a monk of the 3rd tier, so I don't know much. But Rogan is my god. He's a kind and he's a watchful god. He's nothing like the hellspawn devil of the deep typhus. And I don't really know much, about what's going on, but we have not always done the rituals. The ancient scriptures describe it, but it's not normally done by, or it hasn't been done by modern monks. There was never a need to. It was one of those archaic elements of the religion that just didn't seem relevant anymore. It was one of those things that fell out of practice. And anyway, it's not such a nice job to remove brains all day long, so I think probably my predecessors weren't too worried about it falling to the wayside.
May I ask, how long have you been in this town?
Me, I was born here. My parents went off to the Great Wars. Unfortunately, they didn't come back, and so I was raised by Iliana and Ilya in the orphanage.
So, if you've been here all your life, my assumption is that were you here when this first started? This kind of need to protect yourselves against the dead?
Yes, I am 25. I've seen 25 winters, so I was born just as the trouble started.
It's been going for 25 winters.
Yes, as far as I know.
The troubles started as these troubles with the dead raising.
Yes.
Do you know if anything changed at that time at all? I don't know. Stories or legends?
Well, once I left the orphanage, I came to the monastery, and my mentor was Gretchen, and she has told me some of this. She said that these dark things, she believed they had happened once before, many centuries ago, in the time of the originals. You know of the originals, I presume?
Yes, of course.
Yes. Okay. So you know then that they were the ones who founded our great continent. Some, however, say that the originals might have been coming to escape these strange events, and then 20 years ago, when the first dead began to rise, Gretchen had started to research it, and she came upon the ancient scriptures that had once been forgotten. The scriptures described the rituals, but it was very sketchy, and so we've had to use trial and error in learning how to use the rituals ever since, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Sorry, I do apologise for taking your time. You have the festival, which obviously your town's celebrating. There's been talk of it being a time between life and death. I guess I'm just worried for myself and my colleagues. Is it particularly dangerous at this time of year? Do you notice, is there anything that happens that we should be aware of to protect ourselves?
Well, the idea that it is the time of the veil being the thinnest between the planes of life and death is that is something that comes from the scriptures. But to be fair, it's nowadays it's just an excuse to eat lots of candy and decorate your house with skeletons and when the moon was full of last night, I believe. So I don't think so. I don't believe that the scriptures were right in their description of the veil being thinnest on this night.
Well, thank you. I do really appreciate the time you've given us. I have a couple more questions if you're able to assist.
Mm-hmm.
Little aside, Colton, we need to find out about these creatures and why they turn, or how they turn to stone.
Can you tell us that? Can you help us with understanding why these things happen?
Why? What things happen? I don't follow.
People turn to stone when they see these risen dead.
Ah, you mean the petrification?
Is that turn to stone?
Yeah, yes. That is the condition that you
that's what I
find
mean.
them in. Yes. Now that's something that's interesting. The scriptures say nothing about petrification. Some people bring their family members who have been petrified to us. There is no rituals we have found that can unfreeze them, I suppose you could say. But they come out of it eventually in the end, and they're usually none the worse for wear. It's
So they come out
something
of
that
it
we
in the end.
it's something we haven't really. It also depends on we've discovered on how close they are to spectres.
Spectres, we've heard that name before. What's a spectre?
You will find that that's what everybody in town calls them because they appear to be fairly corporeal. They look kind of real, but then as soon as you try to attack them before you sort of turn to stone, they seem to waver. It's very difficult to actually attack them. You would in terms of that kind of thing, you would need to talk to Jonty.
And actually, that was going to be my next question in terms of being able to protect yourself against these. I'm sure, as a holy man, do you have such protections against these? Is there anything advice you could give us, perhaps, about how we might protect ourselves?
I know how to protect the dead with the rituals. If you turn to Rogan, you may find comfort in his presence.
That's certainly something for us to think about. Thank you.
Colton, I think I need to sit a while. May I sit in your temple a while and see?
Yes.
I don't know what. I have followed my ways for many years.
You are welcome, madam.
Yeah, I would like to go in and have a look, sit in the temple, and have a look and contemplate whether that is using the space because it's a religious space for contacting my own deity, Ilona, or seeing if I can. Well, I'll look at that leaflet that I've got as well, and see what I can get, or not having had that much experience with other deities. But
Okay.
see what I can get out of it.
All right. The temple is just here.
And I'm going to join back up, and I'm going to question Weston as to whether or not he has any knowledge from his background. I've obviously spoken to the priest. He was some help. Is this something you've come across before in your priestly dealings?
The dead rising from their graves and turning people to stone. That's not really my god's business. That's not what she's into. I've never seen that.
You don't know how we might protect ourselves against this then?
Other than basic, simple clerical spells, I mean, there's a protection from dead spell, but I don't know it, unfortunately.
Kind of leaves us at a quandary as to what we do next.
I mean, our best bet is probably carrying something like holy water and trying to douse the things. I'm not even joking!
And is that something you can make for us?
Nope, I did not create one.
Nice.
I'm welcome
Great.
to hear any other suggestions about what our next move should be.
Elias is back to sprinkling his poppies, and he says to you guys, if you don't mind, I have my rituals to do.
What if we kill a creepy gang?
What creepy thing?
Creepy gang? The gang?
Oh, creepy gang, sorry.
Maybe then the people will go back and go to church and we get all this creepiness away. Would that work?
I don't know.
Elias hears you say that, and he says, you mean the wild gang?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if they have anything to do with this, but that is a scourge on our city that you could definitely help us with.
And are all of the wild gang halflings? Because some lady just said I was a wild gang member when she saw me.
Yes, the town guards could tell you more about that. I am a simple monk. I spend my days in worship, but the wild gang have stolen some of our artifacts. So I would appreciate it if you were able to get rid of them.
If we find your artifacts, we will try and return them to you. Thank you for the information.
Rogan would bless you for that kind act.
Of course.
So they stole the things. Things came back to life.
It's possible that them stealing religious artifacts caused the curse to manifest again, yes.
Great.
But we can't be sure.
We forgot. Somebody asked if it was something was stolen. Was something stolen? Did he told you that?
He just said that several artifacts were stolen.
Oh, right. Yeah. Great.
What happened 25 years ago that started all of this? I think changed. Something's different from then.
How long have the wild ones been in operation? If they only started 25 years ago, maybe it was an artifact they stole caused it.
And then we'll fix the problem. Great.
All we have to do is kill a bunch of my friends. Yay!
So, are you agreeing on this?
It's one avenue to search, but I don't know what else might be causing this.
Or somebody else would ask the nice priest again if the gang started 25 years ago, and then we know for sure.
He doesn't know much about the gang, so it would be probably better if we went and saw the town guards.
All right, let's do it.
Agreed. Let's make that our next stop, shall we?
Well,
this is all adventure. Enjoy.
Should we pick up the tiefling that's in the corner staring at the wall?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know that the city gate is over here, because it's marked on your map.
You know, I'm going to ask the nice guard.
Oh dear.
Would you, do you wish us to come with you?
Oh, yeah, sure. Gladly.
I'll stay
Also,
here in case she firebolts him.
Oh,
Be fair.
I'll follow the group and go with them to the guard.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sitting in the church praying.